What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Team Sztanyo Live. Happy Sunday evening. My name is Eric Sztanyo from Keller Williams Realty and teamsztanyo.com, where we are helping you find your home and strengthen your family. Hope you've had a great weekend. Hope you are, many of you are settling in, getting ready for the Bengals v. Giants here coming up in about an hour. But I wanted to just pop into the studio and have a little conversation about what's going on with the real estate market, a little bit of local news in terms of some development, and also talk a little bit about what's going on with the market since this NAR settlement has really taken place. So we'll chat about that. As always, if you're watching, please jump into the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to ask any questions, leave any comments. I love getting on here and being able to interact with you guys on a one-on-one, one-on-many basis here. But this is a really fun thing for me to do where I can get in and answer your questions. It's been a busy day. Let's see. Woke up and wrote a contract for a client, and then had our family meeting. We always have family meetings on Sunday. So going through the calendar and the goals for the week for my wife and I and all of our kids. From there, I took two of my kids over for a kind of a walkthrough. We're closing on a Drees home for one of my clients this week, and they had to do some change. They were actually doing a little bit of regrading, so went over there, shot some photos for them, brought my two youngest kids back home, went from there straight to Westchester because they had another client who was sitting down to price out a home with Fisher Homes. So they were looking at Ivy Rose out in Green Township, new development out there, and he really wanted the Blair by Fisher Homes, which is a really cool home. So went through the pricing with him. He ended up signing a contract tonight. Super excited for him. He's really stoked about getting that new home. Got that contract that we wrote under contract this afternoon around 4:00. So some great first-time home buyers are buying a home in Norwood. And then I popped over here to the office. Let's see, what have I been doing for the last hour? Paying bills for the last hour or so here, as my wife and I were building out an addition on our house. And so feels like every spare moment is being eaten up by that, but it's also really fun to see the progress on that. Hope you guys have had a great week. Congrats to our clients sticking to his budget. Yeah, for sure. We had, I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but the ones who bought the home in Norwood, that was awesome. First time home buyers. The new construction guy, he went in knowing, I think in that neighborhood. In fact, let me try to pull that up really quick. Ivy Rose, Fisher Homes. They are, I think they start around 480, 490, something like that in that neighborhood. Let's pop over to this. So here's Ivy Rose. I actually have not been over there yet. Yeah, 474 to 694. They're doing their designer collection. So you've got your Maple Street, your designer, and then your masterpiece with Fisher. So he went with the Blair. It started at 544,900, and he was able to keep it under 600 when he had all of his selections picked out here. So that's an important thing to know if you are thinking about new construction, that what you're seeing as a start price here is typically not going to be your finish price. And he knew that going in. He was trying to keep it under 625. He actually kept it around under 600. So he was pretty stoked about that. Now you can buy the base price and don't do anything in terms of selections on the structural components or the design selections in terms of upgrading flooring or your kitchen, your cabinets, your counters, anything like that. But it's pretty hard to do that. And so you need to kind of expect to, and that it ranges for everyone on what you want and what you don't want. But you could probably expect anywhere from, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, even 20% additional price. Just depends on how much you stack up. If you spend a lot of time in that model home, you're going to want all the things that come with it. But if you're okay, if you don't need all the fancy things, then you can keep closer to your original budget and what's on tap there. So that was fun. Busy Sunday, but I wanted to pop in here before the Bengals game. Had a pretty awesome week. I wanted to show you guys this. Here's my crew, by the way. This was at the Team Sztanyo Klanyo Reds game this summer, where we had, oh gosh, how many people did we have there? We had 400 RSVPs. It was a hot night. So I think about 300 people showed up that night. But this week I was able to head down to, let's see if I can make this bigger here. Maximize this. Pops, he's a retired pilot, and we hopped in this Cessna that we flew out of Claremont County Airport. We were able to get a whole bunch of different donations of goods, things like diapers, canned goods, but also a lot of winter clothing. And we hopped down to Asheville. We flew down. It was about 2 hours down. Um, so here's a little bit of that video. There's the airport. As we were flying in here, they asked us to taxi off early. We were a little heavy from the supplies, and there was a Black Hawk helicopter coming down the runway with us. I was like, Dad, we need to turn off here. But we were able to drop off supplies. They had a pretty, my dad went down a week and a half ago now, and the airport was swarmed. All these civilians coming and bringing supplies, which was really cool. But he's been able to coordinate over a dozen flights from his little chapter of called Cincinnati Pilots for Christ, dropping off supplies and to those people who have needs. So what's really cool is they're hopping on these helicopters. It's really sad from Hurricane Helene, all these people who are, really in need. So that was a really, really cool thing I got to do this week, with my dad. Really enjoyed that. So if you want to support that, if you're interested in that, you can go to my Facebook page here, and you can hit on this link for CincinnatiPilotsForChrist.org if you're interested in checking that out and looking a little bit more. Also, my son turned 9 this week. I took him out for a burrito at Hot Heads Burrito. This is Rafe Archer, my third son. I have 4 sons and 1 daughter, and we got to have a dad-son day out and getting a burrito. He was super pumped. So it was a good day for him. So, all right, let's jump into some market stats here. I would love to show you guys what's going on in the market. As always, feel free to jump in the chat. Any questions you guys have as we're going along here. I'm going to pop off here. And so I'm usually showing Cincinnati stats. Today, I want to show you actually some from the Northern Kentucky MLS. So in general, if you're looking at the stats in Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky, they're going to be about the same. Quite honestly, it's going to be, people from out of here don't really realize that Northern Kentucky is kind of Cincinnati and Cincinnati is kind of Northern Kentucky. I think Cleveland gets it. I think they were recently tried to mock the Cincinnati Reds by saying that it's Cincinnati, Kentucky. No, it's Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's Northern Kentucky. But in terms of real estate stats, it's really kind of about the same in terms of median sale price, average days on market, the kind of inventory you can get. It's going to feel pretty similar numbers wise on either side of the Ohio River. And then really it just depends on maybe where you want to work or where you want to be. I would say Kentucky does feel a little bit more southern. Ohio maybe does feel a little bit more Ohio, or a little bit more northern, I should say. But it's kind of a blend. It's sometimes the way I try to describe it, if you're not from here, feeling out Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, it's kind of like brackish water, like where the ocean meets fresh water. So I would say Northern Kentucky feels a little bit more northern, certainly than like Lexington or Louisville, Kentucky. And Cincinnati feels a little bit more southern, probably than Columbus or Cleveland or Detroit or Indianapolis or something like that. Okay, let's get into these stats here. I want to show you guys. So what we're looking at right now in Northern Kentucky, the median sales price is $289,900 for September 2024. It hit a peak of $305 in August, but we're starting to see that price come down. We'll probably see that continue to come down slightly into these fall and winter months. That's kind of a normal trend here. Like if I go back to 2023, the peak was right here in July, and then it kind of made its way down all the way to January of $255. So we'll probably see that come down a little bit. But right now, the median sale price in September was $289,000. In terms of new listings, we saw more actually in 21 and 22. Last year, we didn't see a lot. Again, this comes back to a lot of equity from sellers and not a lot of sellers wanting to sell and interest rates going higher. So the amount of homes for sale, though, interestingly enough, we are seeing the amount of homes tick up a little bit. Certainly over where we were September last year was 848. Again, this is Northern Kentucky. We're over 1,000 in September 24. And so we are seeing, I will say this, we are seeing a little bit of an advantage for buyers here. Not a huge advantage. It's not a buyer's market. We're not tipping the inventory scales where it's a balanced real estate market yet. But the last few months, we have seen homes that are for sale last a little bit longer on the market. We have seen more and more price reductions. We have seen more and more homes go under contract under the list price as opposed to having a bid over list price. We're seeing less multiple offers. So we're seeing interest rates go down a little bit for buyers. So we are seeing the scales tip just a little bit in favor of buyers. And I would anticipate that to continue into the fall and winter months. Now, the downside is, you see the most amount of inventory in the spring and summer, but right now, from now until the end of the year and through the winter, through February and even into March is getting a little bit more into the spring buying season. But I would say through January and February, if you're thinking of buying, it's a pretty good time to buy. You're going to see more price reductions. You're going to see homes sit on the market a little bit longer. Interest rates are going down, and there's less buyer competition out there as the days are starting to turn darker earlier, as the weather starts to turn colder. Less and less people want to go out there and look at houses. And so you're competing against less buyers, which means great. That's great news for you as a buyer. You might be able to get that median sales price down a little bit lower. We'll continue to go on to this chart, these different charts here. Pending sales, about steady compared to where they were last year. I want to look at days on market. So right here, I mean, we were a median days of 5 on market, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5. But there in September, it did jump up to 9. And so again, I think probably here in October, that's going to stay there, if not go up a little bit when we see the stats from this month. It's just feeling like properties are hanging out there a little bit longer. So again, it's not a huge advantage for buyers right now, but it is ticking up. And I would expect this to continue through, like I said, through fall and winter. Month supply of inventory. Okay, a balanced market is 6 months supply of inventory. We are not there, but we're getting up over 2 months supply of inventory. That's amazing. In August and September, we haven't seen that in forever. The closest we saw it was last year when interest rates really spiked up. But then, still buyers came back in and bought, and inventory really came back down into February, January. It's been creeping up steadily. So there's a little bit more inventory to choose from. What does that mean for you as a buyer? It means you can breathe a little bit. It means you've got a few more options. It means you don't have to, houses are still being sold in that first weekend, but there's some of them that make it to a whole week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And so, the ones that are really cute, in really great condition, that show really well and are priced right, those are still going to go quick. Those are still going to probably go in multiple offers. So if you're shopping at the top of your budget, I would still say those aren't the ones really to go at, because you still might get into a multiple offer situation, but it's way less competitive than it was just a few months ago. And so maybe you still do go take a look at that. And maybe you get lucky. No one else is shopping for them right now. No one else is putting in an offer, and you can get those homes. So, but it's less competitive. Days on market is lasting a little bit longer. This is a good advantage for buyers right now. It's not totally in your favor. Like I said, a balanced market is 6 months. We've, go back 4 years here. We're not even close. But right in the middle of 2021, we were down to basically 0.8 month supply of inventory, which means if no new houses hit the market, everything would be sold in 0.8 months. Less than a month, which is crazy, but it is creeping up. So that's good news for you as buyers. What about percent of list price? So this is another thing. Everyone has been getting 100%. So whatever people are asking, you're getting it in terms of percent of list price, except for this last month. It dipped down just a little bit. So that's what I'm saying. You might be able to get something under list price if you're buying on the resale market. That's pretty awesome. So shows to pending. This is interesting. So this is saying how many showings until you get under contract, I believe is what this stat means here. So interesting. And closed sales. So homes are still selling. They dip down in the winter, and I would anticipate that to dip down again in this winter. But right now in September, 514 closings. Just from lack of inventory, you don't really see more than that. Actually, July was the highest month. June was actually a little bit lower just because inventory was lower. So there's a little bit of feel of what's going on in the market. Wanted to give you guys a heads up there, what's going on and what you're seeing because of that. So we're looking on the resale side there, I just want to show you in terms of the new construction side. This was the promotion that Drees put out, I believe this week. I saw it in my inbox. It's kind of like an October treat yourself sales event, but you're going to see more and more of these here towards the end of the year, where new construction and builders are going to be offering incentives to get you to buy their market homes, their homes that are already have already been built or in the process of being built. So here you can get as low as 4.99% fixed rate financing. That's pretty great. If you're looking to buy a quick move-in home, you can take advantage of these conventional loan financing. No tricks, all treats. Surely be magic to you. This limited time competitive fixed rate financing of 4.99% from October 1st through 31st on qualifying quick move-in homes that close by November 30th. So what are you seeing from these? You're seeing some builders who've got some inventory on the market, and they want to get this off the books before the end of the year. And so you'll see discounts like this one where you can, what we're seeing normal, I think interest rates are around 6.5%. So on some of these homes, it's not going to be all of them, but they're moving some of these homes where you can get 1.5 less than kind of what's out there for kind of the standard 30-year mortgage right now. It's a great deal. It's going to save you hundreds of dollars a year, if not, and thousands over time. So looking at some of these homes just that are, on the market for Drees, and I'm not saying all of these are going to qualify for that 5%, but something here in Alexandria, this looks like one of their kind of patio homes, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage for $325. They're in Alexandria, Kentucky. Here in Batavia, you've got a home for $440. It's a 2,400 square foot home, 4-bed, 2-bath. That is the Billingsley. You've got some of their, looks like some of their townhomes here at Avalon, another patio home at Woodlands and Retreat in Hebron. At Rivers Point Estates, you've got a patio home on Silver Peak. These are really nice homes, 3,800 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3 full bath. Also at Thornwild. So these are just some of the homes that are on the market right now. I'm not trying to go over all of them, but there's a pretty wide range. And some of these could qualify for as low as 5% in terms of the mortgage rate. So something to consider. Again, whether you're looking at resale or new construction, I do think from now till the end of the year and into the winter is a pretty good time to buy. So just want to talk about that and let you guys know what that looks like. Okay. I'm excited for this Bengals game. I don't know about you guys. It looks like Burrow's warming up. It looks like the Steelers are winning. Boo Steelers. Ravens won. Browns lost. At the end of the day, we need to win. We need to start stacking a lot of wins. There's no more wiggle room here. So need to get this win here in New York tonight. Looks like all right, there's my quarterback. That gets me excited. So I'm pretty excited for that. Alex, what's going on, man? Are you coming down for Blink? I would love to. For those of you watching, if you're not familiar with Blink Cincinnati, oh boy, I should maybe show you real quick. Blink Cincinnati. It's this amazing festival, light show, art show, produced by a lot of the art scene. Man, I would love to make room for this. We have a pretty serious family thing that's going on this week where we're celebrating, but I've never made it down to Blink. I would really love to bring the family down. 4 days, but they do this light all over town. It's like this incredible interactive experience. Highly recommend if you've never checked this out. This is my favorite building in Cincinnati, by the way, Music Hall. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you've never checked out Blink, yeah, Alex, thanks for asking. Thanks for reminding me. Definitely good for those of you who are in Cincinnati or not in Cincinnati to know that this is like an amazing event, like kind of world renowned. And other people are really jealous of this thing that we've got going on here. The art scene in Cincinnati is legit. So don't sleep on that. Speaking of which, I want to mention this. What's going on here with the Sundance Film Festival. Not going to spend too long on here, but since he is in my voice is cracking. Since he's in the finalists to potentially host the Sundance Film Festival, it's going to create new jobs, more importantly, it's just be cool. I would love to see them get this. I don't know what you guys think, if they're going to get it or not, but I just want to throw that out there. This has been in Boulder, Colorado for years, right? In Park City, Utah. But would be so cool to see this going on. There's a lot of great incentives for filmmakers here in Ohio, and Cincinnati is pretty popular place for making films, especially those who are doing timepiece or piece. What do you call that? Timepiece movies, because we've got this great old architecture. Just a really cool place. So I hope Cincy gets that. That would be really cool. Another headline I wanted to hit here. Sorry, got this. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we get, Alex said, we get a Bengals win tonight. UC won yesterday. So go UC. Super excited about that as well. Big, giant 392 unit multifamily apartments going into Blue Ash. So they're just breaking ground. I just wanted to show this. Excuse me. I don't know if I'm going to get this, but I was talking too much today. 392 garden style apartments by 2025. Going to be happening in Blue Ash, Ohio. So developments going in all over town, and this is a pretty big one. Blue Ash is a very, very popular place and growing in the Cincinnati area. A lot of jobs in the business community there, and looks like there is some room for multifamily to be growing as well. There's a pretty strong demand there, so it's pretty cool to see that going in. The NAR settlement, just wanted to hit on this briefly. You know, there's a lot of headlines and a lot of news about this, how it's taking its toll on agents. You know, I would say overall what we are seeing is there are some commissions going down, but in most cases, I'm still seeing what we saw before this went into place, which was 3%. Excuse me. 3% on the buyer side, 3% on the seller side. I will say that some agents are having a really hard time with this. I do think, as a lot of people predicted, a lot of agents will get out of the business because they're having a hard time communicating this, or they didn't have as strong of a relationship with their buyers or sellers. I'm gonna have to shut this down, guys. My voice is going out and I can't seem to fix it. But overall, business is going as usual. There's a stat in this. Let me see if I can find it, that I wanted to kind of point out. People are less interested in getting into real estate, which is interesting. The average commission, let's see if I can find this. In the last 4 weeks of July, the typical American home paid 2.55% commission to the real estate agent, according to MLS data analyzed by Real Estate. That's down from 2.62. So I want to do some math here. So commissions are down 0.71%. So 0.07 divided by 2.55 equals. So in 2.7% of the deals, commissions are down. And I've been saying that kind of over and over, which is like in 90 to 95% of the deals, which if my math is correct from this, it's really more like 97% of the deals, commissions aren't changing. They are what they were before this settlement happened. So I don't know, much ado about nothing so far is what I'm seeing in this. So if you've been scared off by this, or if you have questions about the settlement, let us know. Typically what I've been, you know, with most conversations I've had with buyers and sellers, it's like, hey, this law change, here's the deal, here's what's happening. They're like, okay, makes sense. I'll sign the new agreement. It's not a whole lot going on. Not a whole lot has changed. But if you have questions about that, certainly let us know. One other headline I want to hit up real quick. Great Parks is receiving some funds to connect a bike trail from Lunken Airport to Sawyer Point, which is great. Lunken Airport is really close to my office here. Sawyer Point is right down under kind of the I-471 bridge, that Big Mac bridge in Cincinnati. So I love seeing funds going to this to improve the parks and connect the trails, just making Cincinnati overall a better place to live. So I'm excited about that. So I'm maybe more excited about this. I want to go watch this game. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. Burton, a healthy scratch in favor of Trenton Irwin. Disgusting. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I want to see Burton get more play. Jermaine Burton's inactive. So, okay. Penny Sewell. Panay Sewell scored a touchdown. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Okay. That's all right. I'll still take Jamar Chase. Look at that. Oh, yeah. You gotta love these linemen. Oh, was he just short? Maybe he was just short. That's hilarious. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out and watch this Bengals game. Hope you enjoyed as well. I'm glad you were able to jump in here for a little bit. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. And if you have questions about the real estate market, hit me up if you're looking to buy or sell, or you know someone who is. We'd love to help them here at Team Sztanyo. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great week. We'll see you in the next one.